The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
And I was like, yes, hi. I was so excited.
Oh, we said hi. Let me get that hi again.
Okay, hi.
A guy get to a point and he asks you to marry him, he really wants to marry you.
Mm-hmm. He ready.
Like he really feels like, you know what, she's the one. She's the one.
You already getting the goods. You got to pay for it. Bring me the ring and get on one knee.
Okay.
Or two.
You need time to observe someone and really get a sense of how well do they treat you, how well do they handle adversity.
You're not the one because you don't have grit, the perseverance. You ain't really want me because you ready to give up. Because I said no. Nah, you shouldn't have asked. But since I said no, now it's your job to stay in the game and try to fight for it.
Boy on 5 Heartbeats, when you make the announcement you're going solo at the awards ceremony.
What up? And welcome to One Eye Shut, a podcast about many topics from the perspective of 3 married couples. We're back again, y'all. Man, happy One Eye Shut Day. Happy Wednesday. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Like, we've got a lot going on today that makes tonight a special show. It makes today a special day. First, I want to say the thing that makes today the most special is the fact that our firstborn turned 24 today. Y'all give it up for our baby boy. Happy birthday, Alvin. Happy birthday.
Alvin.
Happy birthday.
And I feel old.
I gotta add to that. Happy birthday, Poppy. But today is also my brother Jason's birthday. So shout out to Jason.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Happy birthday, bro.
Okay. All right, since we going all the way, I also have a nephew, my firstborn nephew. Birthday is today. Happy birthday, Richard. Let me see.
Happy birthday, Richard. That's so dope that him and AB share a birthday.
Right. And here's what was also dope. We have not a lot of males in our family. So my sister, her first child was a male, and he was the first male in 2 generations. Right?
Oh, shit.
Right.
Wow.
First male. And then my son, who is my firstborn, he was also male, and their birthdays happened to be on the same day. We also have, this is another aside, in our family, my mother's first child and Al's mother's first child, so Al's oldest brother and my oldest sister also have the same birthday, which happens to be in May as well. It's just the end of the month. But I digress. So happy birthday to all those who were born on May 5th. With special shout outs to the people that are special to us. It's also Cinco de Mayo, so happy Cinco de Mayo for all who celebrate, all who whose culture celebrates that holiday. Although I was told that, us in America, particularly Black folks, celebrate Cinco de Mayo harder than anybody else. And it's not a real holiday for those of Spanish-speaking cultures. I don't know, but I do know that folks have a great time on Cinco de Mayo. This is also our Mother's Day episode. So that makes it special. This is our first Mother's Day since One Eye Shut has been in existence. And then this show is extra special because we have a couple of special guests that we have brought with us tonight. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce them just very quickly by name because I want them to be able to participate in the word of the day and giving the listeners just a little peek into who they are by sharing with us just, how you doing tonight, right now at this moment? What hat are you wearing? What feelings are you bringing? What are you celebrating? Just whatever your word of the day, whatever sparks it, we want to hear it. So our feature couple today is Dawn and Chris Cooper, very dear friends of ours of One Eye Shut, as well as Defied Life Pods. They're just, part of the family. And so they're here with us tonight. And so I guess we'll start with y'all with your word of the day. So Coopers, how y'all doing? What you got for us tonight?
Hello,
what's going on?
hello.
What's up?
Mr. Cooper, you want to go first?
There you go. Put him on the spot, Dawn.
Yeah, just real quick. Listen, this is real low
I
stakes.
haven't had a problem
Real
with
low.
talking now, so I can go. It's not a problem.
Push him in the pool, Dawn. Push him in the pool.
Let's go.
Yeah. Swim, son. Swim.
Old
Go.
school Ramel Bradley joke, right?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay.
So hello, everybody. Just want to say thank you to the whole One Eye Shut family for inviting the Coopers to join tonight. Got much love for everybody on the call, but especially Alvin and Gina Gliff, because there would be no Chris and Dawn without Alvin and Gina.
Very
and that
true.
is truth. Those are facts.
Oh, that's so
appreciate
dope.
y'all.
Yay.
Love y'all to death for bringing us together, and just want to make it publicly known. So,
All right.
my word of the day has to be celebration, because this is my favorite time of the year. If anybody follows me on social media, they're probably tired of that hashtag. Because it's graduation time, it's college decision day, it's college signing, everybody's starting with some new beginnings and culminating things. So special shout out to Ajaya Glimpse for finishing her last exam and graduating college unofficially. So a lot of folks doing that out there.
Yeah.
A lot of new Tar Heels in the house as well that I'm seeing on social media. So definitely, it's what I do, but it's why I love my job, because it's helping these kids, culminate one stage of their life and move on to the next. So celebration is definitely my word for the day.
Celebration is definitely that time of year. And then, in our household, Dawn, you mentioned, Adea, she's graduating. We've got Al's birthday next week. We've got my niece who turned 4, who lives here, her birthday next week. The 2 albums. So May is super duper busy. Oh, we also have JR and Ladine's niece and nephew graduating in the month of May as well. It's just, this is a very, very busy time, and time for celebration. I like it, Dawn. I like it. Celebration. All right, Chris, what you got for us?
I think I'm a piggyback off of that with the word commencement.
Okay.
Just in line with the season. Kind of the start off of the summer. A lot of change going on. We weren't able to do a lot of things in the past year. So kind of the beginning of a kind of rebirth of our lives and getting back to normal things. So this the commencement of things kind of came to mind based off of what Dawn was speaking about. So that's me for today.
All right, look at that synergy. They coming in with a united front. Let's see how this shit roll if they still feeling united by the end of the show.
All right, Gina, don't be trying to jinx us now. We started off good now.
I hadn't said it in a while, and I don't know why. I guess I forgot. When we first started the show, Al, can you mute please? When we first started the show, we used to talk about it in the pre-show, y'all, for real, our goal is not to get angry with each other, right? We want to be able to get in the same bed at the end of the night. And so far, for the most part, I think we've been successful. I'm sure there's been a night or two with it. Listen, that's all. That's why I said I'm not really sure what happens. Every case.
I sleep in my bed regardless. You do what you want to do.
They are going to sleep no matter what. Whether I'm mad or not. He'd be like, all right, bitch, you be better in the morning.
I subscribe to that philosophy also, JR.
Right.
With that. I'm sleeping in my bed.
Right.
Okay.
Facts.
I feel like that's that new wave man shit. I don't know, like the generation before us, like I just believed that men was leaving their beds. Like I don't know what happened. These dudes was like, I don't give a damn what happens. I ain't getting out my bed.
Old school, new school, true school, don't matter. Lakers in 6.
You got the pillow on the couch and you got a blanket and that's it. Go sleep there tonight. Get out of here, puñeta. Nah, they not ready. Mm-mm.
No, and I also ain't giving you no damn blanket and a pillow. What the fuck? Or not? I don't care. But anyway, we digressing again. So go ahead, Ladine, since you got the floor. Let's go ahead. How you doing tonight?
I am feeling so good today. Like, I just can't even. So that new beautiful pink moon came in last week, and I just decided to get my life. Like, I can't even explain it. I have been in a really horrible rut for the past couple months. I think I talked about this last week on the show, just experiencing a lot of, I guess I honestly didn't realize how stressed and possibly heavily depressed I really was. And just like losing passion for life, period. Like, and just the desire to do anything it was just gone. And man, I've been getting up every day, walking. Y'all be proud. I've been getting up every morning when JR gets up, and I get my ass out there, and honey, I get it in. I got to get my health together, getting my life together, but really, definitely my health is like number one priority right now. And I'm just happy. I feel good. JR, he comes in the house yesterday. He's like, babe, how you feel? I was like, I feel good. He's like, oh, you sound better too. It's when you realize like the effect that you really have on the people in your household, especially now that it's Mother's Day, as the mom, as the woman in the house, like the effect that you have on your home. And so it was good to hear him say that. Cause I mean, if anybody really sees what's happening with Ladine, it's him. And so it was just really great to hear him say that. So I guess I'm gonna say my word of the day is passion, because I got the passion back, honey, because I want to live and I'm excited for the future has for Ladine. So yeah, we're gonna say passion because it's all the way back. Absolutely.
Passion. And that is great. What a fantastic place to be. So I'm glad you're back, Ladine. I'm glad, JR, that you supported her and that you acknowledged, even in your fatigue or stress maybe of the situation, some relief when you saw her come back, but acknowledging it for her was a big deal. So kudos to you too. All right, so we got Ladine back. We got the united couple over there, at least temporarily. We'll see. And come on, JR, follow up behind your wife. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. First off, it is good to see my wife in the space that she's in. I think we can all relate to, all the husbands here can relate to when our wives are in a bad place, the whole household is in a bad place. So when she is, aligned, the house operates better. And it's she dictates the mood, so it's a good thing. And also, shout out to you, Coopers. I don't want to get long-winded, but shout out to the Coopers. Dawn, thank you for checking in every week and listening to us. Chris, thank you for that dope-ass intro. I don't know if our listeners know this, but Chris is our, he engineered and produced our intro music. So thank you all for that.
All right, welcome, no problem. Appreciate
no doubt. But now, on to my word, I'm excited. So first off, it's almost like having the Stevens here, where the wife is pushing the husband to speak first on the word of the day, and the husband and the husband comes with a big ass SAT word, and you just like, oh, I got to follow that shit. So.
And the wife is from South Carolina.
Right.
South Carolina in the house.
Exactly. No doubt.
I gotta bring a little country in here for y'all.
Right.
Thank you.
So
she holding it while they're gone, huh?
All right.
All right.
Oh man, but I'm excited. My speaking of May birthdays, my dad's birthday is Friday, May 7th. Happy birthday at Heaven Pop. But I'm going home to it's his first birthday since he passed. So me and my sisters, and a lot of family are going home to have a candlelight vigil and just honor him. And I get to meet my new sister, my new 50-year-old new sister for the first time. So I'm excited. So this is going to, and my niece, her daughter's coming. So it's going to be fun. We've given her a rundown on the family we think is going to be there, including Dana. It's going to be real.
JR going to get them jabs in. He going to get the jab in.
She don't listen to the show.
That's true.
That's her fault.
She don't listen that much to anything.
Dana alone and stop it.
Stop.
What you say, Ladine?
I say he better leave Dana alone and stop it. That's my cousin.
Oh, good. You claim it.
Yeah, she all our cousin.
Hey, y'all know we record this show, so y'all heard her say it. But yeah, I'm excited, and it's it's a good spot to be in to honor my father and to also meet another part of him. So I'm excited.
How old is your niece, Jay?
15.
Okay.
She looked just like Keisha.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Like Keisha stole Alasia. She stole another one.
Wow, them genes is serious, huh?
Right. So yeah.
Okay. Look, it's good that you fit right in.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then she's right along with Ladanian and Bailey and okay. Right. Cool stuff. All right, Al, what's up with you?
What's up, co-host? What's good? Listeners, how y'all doing? This is your dude, A.L. How y'all doing? So let's start off because I got a list, and forgive me because I don't mind being long-winded. So first, shout out to my Uncle Tommy. Miss your Unc. Shout out to Uncle Tommy. So first, I want to even get to my word. Before I get to my word, let me shout out my Coopers because Jay definitely appreciate the acknowledgement of Chris and the dope ass beat that we got on our intro, because he has been my go-to producer dude. Like, he is a jewel in my eyes, and so he's that guy that I always turn to. So as you mentioned, Dawn, how we have a role in y'all being in existence and y'all being the couple. That is something that I proudly take credit of. We proudly take credit of. And while we've been, I'm a legacy dude, and I think there's some things that I will take credit for, some amazingly dope ass shit in my life. And y'all are on that list because y'all are really, really Glimpse certified, amazing people. I'm just saying, they're Glimpse certified.
Wow.
Y'all not listening, Glimpse certified.
Grade A. Right.
I think I got a second that. I think I got a second that. These are two beautiful people that I've loved from day one that I met them. So yes, I got a second that.
Okay. So I'm just saying, you got four glimpse on the call, just like facts.
Right.
So appreciate that. And it also, as I just kind of put Chris in the spotlight for a second, it always amazes me when he shows that he's shy and like a little reserved because I'm not. And so I kind of take that for granted and forget that he is shy sometimes, or, doesn't relish the spotlight. And, I think people, just take you for granted for that. But I swear, Chris, you are an amazing dude. So I like pushing you out there. I really do like pushing you out there so other people can see what we see. Right. So, now back up off. Now back up, get out the spotlight, because that's enough of you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my man. So my word of the day is mayhem. That's my word of the day. Mayhem. And it might be my word every week. as we go forward this month because it's May and it is one of my favorite times of the year, not only because it's like spring, but, we are going to go another year without an official mayhem. So I will definitely do my best to acknowledge what I am missing in my life. So shout out to my mayhem crew, my mayhem massive, Bill Green, Monica Rogers, Monique. Nothing but love for y'all. People missing us. But we're gonna have a mini mayhem for my day for Adaya's graduation. So there's a lot of folk coming into town, and we're gonna party like rock stars. Not just for her, but for my birthday too. I'm gonna slip a little bit in for that too. And looking forward to that as family are coming as far as New York to show Adaya some love and also taste some of my brisket. I think that's also part of why they're traveling too. So
and the reason why I stay with you.
But like Dawn, I love May as well because for those graduations, right? So I think graduations, commencements, that is a amazing part of this year. So I look forward to, as you go through this month on social media, all of the posts and pictures of people acknowledging young people and some old people following through on post-secondary or even high school, whatever it is real some nice shit. And Dawn, I know you're a college access warrior, and so I know, I co-sign that with you as well. I think that is my list. So I look forward to this conversation because did I mention that it's May? And all of just the lovely people. I mentioned that. Like, there's so many amazing people in this world who were born this month. So if you know somebody who's born this month, just give them a text and say, I love you because I know you're special. And I'm done.
All right. I'm tired just listening to you. It's like a whole lot of energy and words. And all right. But thank you, Al, for sharing with us how fabulous you feel tonight and sharing mayhem with us. How many years, Al?
Al's Allen right
I'm
now.
like, what is happening?
Al's Allen. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, my fault. I tried to do something but forgot my wife is in the room. So it has been going on since 2002, so 19 years.
Okay.
That's
my first one was 2003, but they did one before me trying to, figure out what was the missing ingredient, and then I showed up.
And it's been fabulous ever since.
I know that's right, Al. You better say it again.
Look, I ain't lying. Y'all done been to Mayhems, and for those who went to one without me the first time, y'all noticed the difference.
Y'all, I just love him.
I'm just saying. Look, everybody on this call has been to a Mayhem, and real talk, that is a slamming ass party. But please know, amongst my Mayhem crew, they give me and my people props for bringing the party. That's all I'm saying. It ain't just me. It's me and my crew. And when we come to party. And my folks like, we know you coming, and we know your people gonna be on the floor. And we like they.
You make it sound like you signed the death row or something.
Hey.
Like you was Snoop and Dre about to turn this bitch out.
The East Coast stuff, but yeah, I'm saying my people, we roll deep like the Wu-Tang, and we come bringing the ruckus for all you peasy head motherfuckers.
Family and friends.
Family and friends. Yeah, real talk. It's always a good time. So I'll be happy when Mayhem comes back. And mostly because it is such a it brings such a sense of joy to my husband, as you can hear, right? And so he misses it, and this will be year 2 of no Mayhem. So I'm sure when they come back next year, because we're gonna be ready next year, we can bullshit, and so next year, y'all, Mayhem is gonna be off the chain. I'm sure. All right, y'all. So I'll just go with my word of the day. And my word today is determined. There's a lot going on, just personally, professionally, the place where we are I'm just determined. I spent some time today with some educators that shared some real bullshit with me. Just why are you laughing?
Because I love the way you put it. You put it beautifully. Good.
I'm saying it's just bullshit, and it's stuff that our children are going through and having to experience. Is just ridiculous to me, and we're also currently dealing with a situation with my a personal situation with my nephew and discipline in the schools. And, it's not right. It's not right. And so I am determined to make some changes, determined to make sure that our Black and brown babies get the shit that they deserve, that they are treated like humans and with respect and given the opportunity to reach their greatest potential. And right now, that shit is not happening in this education system. And it's just fucked up. So I'm determined to play my role. And, for however many Black and brown babies and children that I can change some shit for, that's just what's going to happen because, this shit is just ridiculous. But anyway, and so I'm determined also, to keep this passion that Ladine talked about, because that shit is real, to wake up and even if you don't wake up that way, but to get to that point every day in your life is just like awesome. I'm determined to have a great May and celebrate and go to however many commencements I can go to, like this shit. I'm just determined that life is going to be what the fuck I want it to be. And I'm going to make some differences for the folks that I want to make a difference for. So there you have it. And so before we get into the meat of the show, I'm just going to use, I just feel compelled, right? Because, Al, he gave crazy shout outs and accolades to Chris. He bigged them up in a real, real way. And, he deserved it all because, Chris, at the end of the day, you cool people and all, I love you, dude, but I'm saying it's my time to step in and I got to big up my girl.
Give it
I'm
to your
just saying.
girl. I know it.
That's right. Because you already know how I roll, Christopher.
Well deserved, too. Well deserved. Give it to her.
I'm just saying. So Dawn and I met, I don't know, Dawn, a long time ago. 92, I think.
93.
Right. You came in January in 93. Dawn and I went to Emory University's grad school together, and I was there for a semester before Dawn got there. And I was in a program where there just seemed to be a lot of old people. Like I was the youngest person. I'm like, I ain't got no friends, nobody but Al, ain't nobody in this program. Like everybody at least minimally 5 years older than me. And then there's huge gaps in all these old folks, right? So Dawn, I never forget, Dawn walked into that classroom on that day and I looked up and I was like, thank you, Jesus, is a young person. And she Black.
Same thing when I saw you, boo. Same thing.
And so fast forward, I really operated way out of my character. And Dawn and I moved in very quickly together. I don't even think it was a whole semester before we decided to move in. But I rely heavily. And so I say it was out of my character because I'm very reserved. I'm very to myself. Like this idea of just opening up to strangers is just not a part of my DNA typically. But I rely heavily on my intuition, and I knew, like, I'm like, this is gonna be good right here. She is good people. And so we've been friends, like, I don't know, however many years that is, from 91. What's that? 20? That's 30. What the fuck? That's 30 years.
Girl, it'll be 30 years in
That's
2023.
almost 30 years. So over the years, like, Dawn has always been my girl. We've been through a lot of laughter, a lot of tears, good times. I've learned a lot from Dawn. Dawn is like that person who she just has a lot of good qualities. And so if you watch her and if you if you spend any amount of time in her space, you just naturally walk away having had a good experience, whatever that is for you, but it's going to be a good experience. She's always had my back in a way that, I've just always appreciated who she is and her energy and her loving nature, the way she goes hard for everybody in her life. She's just kind of been that rock just over the years, and I've always appreciated how she's loved on my children and supported them. And so, girl, I don't even know where I would be if it wasn't for Dawn Bradley Cooper. So welcome.
Gina, I love you too.
Welcome.
Got me over here crying after the tequila shot.
I just love them.
Oh, yeah. There's been many of those over the years too. Many a shot, not necessarily.
That's a whole other podcast. It's a shot.
That's a whole other podcast. All right, there goes another topic right there, y'all. We got to write this down because we might need to come back and revisit that.
Chris was about to say something. What was you about to say, Chris?
Oh, okay, and she's tall and sexy too. You got that part of it.
Oh,
that's not to say. So I'm glad you threw that in there, Chris. Okay.
But I do have a question.
Gina, I love you too. I love you too, sister. You ain't even a friend no more. You my sister. I love you. I love you.
Hey.
Yes.
Love you back.
And so I do have a question before Gina gets into the meat of all the beautiful questions of the show. Because we're a marriage podcast, I would love for y'all to give like a brief summary. Y'all already said that y'all met through Al and Gina. So like, how did y'all meet? How long did it take for the proposal? Like, come on.
That's what happens when folks just impatient as hell. They just jump in. Just you didn't even give me a chance to get to the. But you know what? It's good because you know why, Ladine? This is your motherfucking show too.
I'm just saying.
That's right. Y'all answer her question. She asked y'all a question.
Yeah.
Well, Chris knows I tell the story all the time. But I'm going to try to keep it brief. That's not something I've ever been really good at. But I'm going to try my best to keep it brief. Because that's one thing Gina left out. She knows my behind can talk. I can talk. All right. So, like Gina said, we were in grad school together. Met Al in grad school. And obviously, the personality that Al it has. Once you cool with him, then you invited into the family. If you Glim certified. So I was meeting all of his people, and, I was actually dating somebody else at the time, not serious. He was a bum. He was a bum. But anyway.
A straight bum.
So, yes, he was a bum. That's a whole other podcast. How your sisters rescue you from bums. But anyway.
Yes. Another
Al
show
and
topic.
Gina call us, right. Al and Gina call us and we might need a little assistance. One of our friends is in need of a little help, and I ain't gonna go any further than that. But I was like, really? We are not able to help at this time. Later on, Al and I, we were playing basketball with Al's crew was it Emory? I don't know if it was at Emory. It was some goal outdoors or whatever.
That's Emory.
And then
Emory.
Chris, it was at Emory.
Yes.
Then Chris comes on the basketball court with his hat turned to the back, and I was like, well, who is that? But I was like, all right, I'm supposed to be out here playing ball, keep professional. Anyway, he and I was on the same team, ended up running the court. We won the whole time we was playing out there, and we got to, it just kept progressing from there. It was like, we really got to be friends first, which is really important. You got to, like whoever it is you get with before you just go all in, So we were friends for a while, and we dated for about 3 years before he proposed, which happened at my family reunion in front of 200 of my family members.
Oh,
and you talk
my
about
God.
shy.
Hold on. This is beautiful. This is probably the first dope-ass proposal, right, that we got on this motherfucker. That's what
Two things that he knows that I knew about him was that
He's gonna shit on pink chicken like that.
I didn't do the basement. I didn't do the basement in our first house that he bought because it was always some kind of creatures down there. I love the fact that he bought us a house before we got married, but it was some creatures in that basement. Never went down there. That's where he was hiding the ring because he knew I was never going down there. Second, as Al said, he does not get out in front of people and speak. He's very low key. Now he ain't shy around this house at all. Let me just let you know that. There's no shyness around here, okay? But in front of other people, it's not going down like that, especially back then. He's got better now, but especially back then. He goes up on the stage during the family reunion while the program is starting and everything, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like, what is he doing up there? And his dad's like, he's just going to ask your cousin something or whatever. He gets on the mic and starts thanking everybody for welcoming him into the family, and he loves everybody. And then he talked about how much he loved me, how special I was to him, and he got down on one knee and told me to come out there, and I almost passed out.
Yes, Chris. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. So he claims to this day I never said yes. I did, but I was crying, so he didn't hear me.
I was there. I didn't hear you say yes either.
I said it.
But look,
Damn, Dawn.
hey, it don't even matter. 2 babies later, a whole lifetime later, clearly you said yes.
Right. So my family instantly scooped him up. They love Chris. And this is as Al said, he is a good dude, and best decision I made in my life getting to Chris Cooper. So that's it.
Love you too, baby. Appreciate it.
Yeah, she only saying that because she's on the air.
I concur with most of your story. The pre-dating stuff, I kind of remember all that basketball stuff, but for me, really, you kind of really showed up on the radar strategically when you came over Alvin's house.
That's what I remember. Yes.
See, I didn't want to put you out there like that.
Tell a story, Chris.
That's what I remember.
Tell the story.
Everybody how you was hoeing around. Go ahead.
No.
Not that story, Dawn.
Wrong story.
What's going on, Dawn? What's going on here?
Well, hello, Mrs. Cooper.
Exactly. But anyway, I'm down visiting Atlanta, considering making a move to Atlanta, and I met Dawn, and we did play some basketball, and that was all cool and everything. But I was sleeping on Alvin's couch, my boy Alvin looking out for me and everything, and there's a knock at the door, and all I remember is just her coming in these heels, in this short black dress. Like obsession.
That's the story I remember.
Yep.
So all that basketball stuff, that was that did happen, but that dress and the heels and the obsession, which really had me obsessed, which I said, and seemed to spark a little something in her. And from there, it's been. No, she just remembered that particular line or comment that I made. That evening.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it started for me anyway.
I think the basketball might explain the reason for the dress. Now that we know she was looking at you way back then, that might have motivated.
Feeling the brother's game, right?
I might need to put heels over to his house.
That house looking good because, truth be told, Gina let me borrow that black dress. Thank you, Gina. That's why I said it would not be no Dawn and Chris without Al and Gina. All right.
That's
why the dress was so short.
Might be, but I have at least
all coming together.
Right. I'm at least a half a foot shorter than her, so it was a little. It was a little short.
It was a little short. But the one thing for me that I'm gonna let it keep. I ain't gonna hold the show up no more. I promise. I had on heels, and honestly, as a tall woman, it's very difficult to wear heels, especially if you're single, because either you're on Amazon, or somebody got something smart to say or whatever. So I, was halfway self-conscious about the heels. But so I mentioned that to Chris, and he was like, "Don't stop putting on them heels." I like the heels. I was like, well, all
Yes,
right
Chris.
then. The heels are here to stay, baby.
I got
And
these
the rest
saddles
is
for you right
history.
here, Poppy. That's what she was saying. She was like, I'm not gonna take them off no more, okay?
And the heels have been here to stay ever since.
Yes, Chris, that is so beautiful. Can I just say big ups to Chris for freaking loving and representing this woman's house? Because let me ask you a question, Dawn. How does that make you feel when you walk into a room, knowing that your husband loves you and all your sexy? Doesn't that make you feel good?
It's fabulous. Fabulous. Not having to worry about nothing, who look, whatever. My man got me and I'm good.
And you know what's so great about listening to this? Because that's what you do when you walk into a room. You walk into a room gracefully, like you're loved correctly, beautifully. I say it all the time. And I love to see that. So yes, Chris. Big ups to Chris. Big ups to the both of you.
Thank
for
you,
showing
Ladine. Thank
her
you.
yes, because you
too.
guys give off a great energy. You have a beautiful family, and you can tell that your love is so incredibly fucking real. And this is just one example of that. Like that's just so dope. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. And we have our rough times, so no, it ain't always.
I mean, it's marriage.
Grits and gravy. It's marriage, But we get through it. We get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta make that decision and that commitment, right? Commit to the commitment. That's right. And so it's funny, Dawn, as you tell the story. I was probably the only one, in the whole crew that didn't play basketball. So it's not unusual that I don't know anything. I don't even remember you telling the basketball part or experience. I don't remember that. But like Chris, I remember that day when we went over to Al's apartment. Like I really thought that was the beginning, or I remembered that was the beginning and not so much the whole basketball thing. But yeah, and I remember walking in, but and it's funny now that I'm thinking about it. You did. I don't know why I thought that was the first time that you met him, but I do now remember. Like as we're talking about it, like no, you knew each other because I remember the conversation on the way to the house. At that time, Dawn and I lived around the corner from Al and Chris, who was sleeping on the couch. But I guess that was his place of residence at the time. We lived around the corner, and I remember going there. We played spades that night, and Dawn was looking pretty cute. But that was because already we had kind of decided that we looking over that way. Dawn, and I gotta remind you of something too off air. But yes, so here we are. Here we are. What is this for y'all? 20. This year would be 24 for you, right?
23.
23. Mm-hmm. Here we are, 23 years later. 2 beautiful girls later. Like I said, a whole lifetime, lots of history. And so we did say that tonight was going to be a Mother's Day show. We're kind of honoring Mother's Day as it comes up on Sunday. So I'll just go ahead right now before we continue. Happy Mother's Day for all of you beautiful mothers out there that every day you just do what you need to do for your babies and your family. So happy Mother's Day. Okay, and 2 babies later, and here we are, right? So this first question is just for the ladies. Men, we'll give you an opportunity to respond if you have something you'd like to say to any of the comments that are made. But the question itself is really for the women. But again, feel free. We don't want to leave y'all out. I know, a lot of time. Not you, Chris, because it's your first time. Although you do it off the air. Y'all complain that we don't let y'all talk and talk over you. And, everything you say. Al just told me yesterday he going to have a shirt that talks about, what is it? I'm never right because my wife always is. Like, what is it? What did you say the shirt was going to say?
Hi, I'm a husband and I'm never right.
Yeah. All that. All that.
I'll take one. I'll take one.
Before the podcast is.
Hey, Al.
JR's not wearing that shirt.
I know because I'm getting one that says my wife's name is Google. She knows everything.
No, don't do me.
Oh, that should be on the back.
Right. So just for the record, I am inviting you fellas to chime in if you would like, if you have something to say. Just for the record. All right. So again, Dawn, we're going to start with you as you are one of our guests of honors. And so, how did becoming a mom change you?
Ooh. Well, first,
That's a big
before I
question,
forget,
right?
it is a big one, but I want to say Happy Teacher Appreciation Week as well to all of the fabulous educators out there who make every other profession possible by way of teaching our babies, especially the really good ones. I'm sorry, Gina. You said, what does motherhood mean to me?
Well, no, but if that's the question that you'd like to
No.
answer,
I want to answer your question.
I'm just saying, like, if you feel compelled to say something about that, feel free to say that as well. But the question was, how did it change you? How did becoming a mom change you?
Well, I know Chris Cooper is going to take you up on your offer to chime in on this one, okay? I already know. So I may want to save some of my space for my man because I know you got something to say. Okay. So I've been really wanting to be a mother in some form or fashion as long as I can remember. Because my mother, God rest her soul, was an amazing mother. And just watching her be such a good mother to me and my brother, I wanted to be like her. So I was a serious tomboy, serious. But I also loved doll babies. And I would mother just about anything or anybody that was younger than me that would let me. So I was putting the cat in the baby carriage and rocking my doll babies to sleep. But really, so I wanted my kids, I wanted to grow up one day and have kids that I was able to do for them what my mother did for me. Just make them feel loved, help them grow into be strong men or women, whoever they were going to be. So, and just, taking that responsibility seriously to help to bring another good person in the world that's going to contribute in some way to this world and be able to continue this family legacy of whatever that's coming from. So I took it very seriously for a lot of reasons, but it really meant, honoring my own mom, being a good mother and making sure that, my kids felt loved and appreciated and just strong and, able to grow in whatever the right direction it is for their lives. So really it was a lot of honoring my mother. And it's still to this day, even though she's not here, I still parent a lot from what I learned from her. And then also the things that, I didn't want to do that she did to also help mold me into the mother I am. But yeah, just I would say honoring Judy Bradley has a lot to do with what I love about being a mother and why I wanted to be one. And I think that it's changed me because I did catch that piece. I'm sorry. It has changed me because I have learned. I really have learned to give myself some grace because I used to not. I wanted to be perfect being a mother, perfect being everything that I'm doing. But I think being a mother taught me that you can't be perfect at anything. You really can do the best you can, and the rest of it you got to let go and let God. And so I think I learned that more from being a mother than anything else.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop now.
Don't worry, Dawn. You did good. Instead of Alan, you was totally Ladining out that mother. Don't worry. You
Totally
good.
Ladining. Like, yo, when she gonna answer the question?
I brought it back at the end, though, right?
You did. You did. You. That's why I was laughing. You brought it back at the end. Yes. And let me say, big ups to Judy Bradley, R.I.P. Dawn speaks of her often, and I've had the pleasure of knowing her for several of the years that Dawn and I, after Dawn and I became friends. And so, I didn't see her mother Dawn as a young child, but I did have the opportunity to see her mother Dawn as an adult child. And I'd have to agree. She was fabulous. So thank you, Judy, for making Dawn, helping Dawn to be the person that she is.
Indeed. Yes,
Yes.
indeed. And her mother was a nurse too, so she picked up a lot of those nursing qualities also from her mother.
Mm-hmm. That's what Chris was looking at. He was like, "Oh shit, Dawn gonna be able to take real good care of me. I better hold on to."
Well, just to chime in real quick. I mean, when you're dating somebody, unless they have children, you don't really know what kind of person they're going to be as a mother or a parent. So when they do become a mother parent, it's a part of their personality that you have never experienced before. So it's an interesting dynamic how much they actually change to that, embodying being a mother and all the things that come with being a mother. Because again, it's a part of their personality that is just not there when they're with you and there's no children in the picture. So it's interesting.
It was Christopher. I was helping to raise my brother's son. You saw that.
I did see it, not to the extent that
Facts.
me becoming a mother.
Right, and that was so early in y'all's relationship until it may not have even been thinking that way yet.
Yeah, it's different, B.
True.
Yeah.
They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that up front.
Yeah. No, well, you know what? I used to say that all the time. I wish somebody had told me. Then I realized that I believe that they did. We just didn't listen. Like really, like I used to say it all the time about like, man, somebody should have told me about this marriage thing or this child thing. Like, and it's like, yeah, they told you. You just ain't listen. You didn't believe them. You didn't listen. Like, whatever. All right, Ladine. How about you? How did you change? Let me repeat the question. I know it's been a minute since you heard the question. So,
body blow, Gina. Body blow.
Nah, Gina, no. Gina know what it is. You know I need the question again, Gina.
I just saying, like, just a reminder. Listen, you know your players,
right?
No, reminders needed, so it's all good, right? How did you change once you became a mom?
Oh man, it's so funny. I'm sorry, I got to big up Dawn real quick because I wasn't even thinking about like answering the question like with everything she brought up, but that was definitely dope what you did, bringing up your mom. I love that. So let me see. It definitely changed me in oh my God, in so many ways. So I mean, y'all already know I'm a loud New York Puerto Rican, let's be honest. And God, I didn't really have how can I say this without like I just gotta say this differently. So I guess I didn't really have goals at that time. I think I was 24 when I got pregnant of Ladine. I didn't really have many goals. I was in a very lost place in my life. The direction for my future wasn't clear for me at all. And I was scared. I was definitely scared to become a mom. As Dawn brought up, like I knew I had the skills. I had a great mom My mom, growing up, just was an awesome human being. Just an awesome mom to us. So I knew I always wanted to be a mother. Actually, I always wanted to have a daughter. Thank you, Jesus, for giving me my two boys. I'm a boy mom all day. Okay. I it changed me. It changed, of course, my outlook on life. Period. It changed the way. I mean, it definitely changed my loud and craziness. Like, I toned all the way down. I went from crazy 163rd, like, I'm ready to fucking get it at any time, who want it, whenever, however, to like, all right, Ladine, you got to focus. Like, what do you want to do? Like, it gave me a different perspective. And then, when you have a baby and just even looking at my son, it was like, it was a massive responsibility. For me, I was very scared. I didn't have my son's father around when I had Ladanian. So I was extremely scared. I moved 4 months pregnant of Ladanian to Georgia and lived with my sister. So there was a lot of change happening as I was becoming a mom. So it just really, I guess, I feel like it made me better. I think it made me a better woman. I think it made me, I was always very caring. I'm Latina. I grew up, caring and doing for people. So my older sister Javine, she had my nephew Sammy Jr. when she was 15. So I was a teenager waking up in the middle of the night to take care of a baby that wasn't mine sometimes. So that motherly instinct was definitely always with me. But I think it's very different when you become a mom to your own child. And I don't know. I feel like it made me feel again. I feel like because I was lost and in just a different place, it allowed me to feel again. And yeah, I just feel like my baby definitely made me better. He made me want more out of me. He made me want more out of life. It just definitely made me better. So yeah, that's what it did for me.
Thank you for sharing, Ladine.
Yeah.
JR, you chiming in? Or?
See, Gina, I didn't know D. I tried to make it short and sweet, all right?
Yes, you did good, girl. You did good. You answered the question. You stayed on topic. You remembered what you was talking about. Girl,
Yeah.
you did good. You on it. It's that newfound passion, girl.
All right.
I'm telling you, that passion.
I mean, everything that she just said kind of predated me, so I had to wait to the next question because I wasn't around to witness any of that shit.
Because I was definitely a package deal, but you met me as mom, so
I know, but I didn't know you before you were a mom, so
Right.
I kind of gotta wait until the next question. I mean, by all accounts, you're spot on. From everything I've heard from you and everybody else, yeah, you
excuse, watch your mouth, watch your mouth. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I know it's not a jab. No, it's not a jab. Good.
But yeah, so
Hilarious.
I'll wait.
So Gina,
I'm sorry, JR. I thought you were saying something.
No, I was just saying I'll wait. I'll wait to the next question.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. All right. So, how did motherhood change my life? It's funny because when this question first came up, like I was stumped for real, like, and I'm still, yeah. So, I guess the first thing that I will say, and I don't know that I've ever shared this before. Definitely not in yeah. Okay, so my children literally, I guess I'll just say my son because he was the first one, literally saved my life many times. yeah, there's been periods in my life that I was, suicidal or whatever, and I never wanted my children to think that I did not love them enough to stay. And
Ooh.
so, literally changed my life.
I need you to take a deep breath, baby. Take a deep breath. 'Cause that is beautiful.
I knew that, so growing up, it was lots of great things about my mom, great things about my childhood. There was a lot of things that wasn't so great. And so when I had my children, I wanted to give them all of the good stuff, but I also focused very heavily. I tried anyway to focus very heavily on the things that I did not have, or that I did, that I wanted them to have that I may not have had. And so, I tried to give them those things. Yeah, and so just generally, it made me a better person. I realized that, I too, like growing up, always taking care of children, and it was always children. It was just always children. And my mom was the same way. Growing up, we had different family members or friends of the family's children staying with us for whatever reason. People needed some place to stay for their children. It wasn't too many adults that stayed at our house, but for their children. My mom probably had, this was once I went away to college, but it's probably, I can't even remember, I don't know, 30 or so foster children that had gone through my mother's house. And so it was just a theme, like there's just something that we did. And while I often took care of children, like I didn't realize how hard it was for real, until I had my own. Just the constant responsibility. Um, yeah, and so that in itself, like, changed me because I knew that I had to, I had to live up to what I signed up for, and I wanted my children to always know that they could count on me um, for whatever they needed. And so I had to step it up. I had to present myself in a way that my children would be proud and know that they could depend on me for whatever they needed. So yeah, yeah, I guess that's all I'll say about that. Al, anything you want to chime in as a response or whatever?
I think just as a response, I think that is a very interesting share, and that is very strong of you to share that. So shout out to you. And I definitely have noticed your determination, to use your word, to be in your version of motherhood, to be a different mother and provide a different childhood in so many ways than what you experienced. And I definitely will. I think it has made the kids better. I think it's made you a better mother. And I kind of like JR. I'll just kind of wait on my other responses to when we talk a little bit more in the question. I mean, when we get to talk, when you ask us our questions, I'll hold back. Just leave it there.
Man, Gina, I'll just say that was fucking beautiful, okay? Because I don't think people get it sometimes. And when you said, like, they saved you, like, that choked me up over here because, whoo, did I feel that? Oh, my goodness, did I feel that? Oh, so yes, the same way Al said, like, just big up to you for the massive, huge share because it's a big responsibility. It's a massive responsibility that I don't think that we do realize, no matter how many other people we take care of, when they are yours, like, it's a different story. And yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Gina. And just know that what you did, I know that wasn't easy, but I'm sure it's helping somebody who's listening to this podcast tonight.
Yes.
Appreciate and love you for doing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Yeah. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, Gina. I'm so proud of you. I know how being a private person, I know how that is, and I know how hard this is in general for you at times. So, to share to that extent, I'm proud of you.
Hostess of the mostest. So, if it's okay, I'm just going to jump right into how it has changed how I've seen my wife. And it really, I guess, my change was instant. A lot of my change. Like when I say instant, as in when my son was born, instant. In the labor delivery room, just like, okay, I will forever see life different, and I will forever see my wife different, because like just for me in life, you got these perspective altering events, things in your life that forever change how you see the world. And that was one, because I came into the room thinking I wanted 5 or 6 kids and not really appreciating what having a baby was all about. And then I saw it and was like, oh, I got a whole nother level of respect for bringing somebody into this world. And have as many as you want, Gina, because I ain't putting no pressure on you. And I think that just captures in many ways how I see her as a mother, because I have a lot of respect just for the status of what a mother is and what they do. 1, because of mine, and 2, because of her and just all the other mothers that I've experienced. But it's also in terms of how I view a mother and her as the mother of my children. All I've ever wanted to be in my life was a father and a husband. Like literally, out of all the things I've ever accomplished, I really believe my father passing changed me at some point in my life to where this is all I really want to do. And so for me to have selected her and, saying this is the woman I want to be with, and then for her to have played out the way it has, and her being an amazing mother, and then me having some really, really cool kids, like this is the fulfillment of really my life's destiny, like to me. So in terms of how it changed, I really just saw her as the piece to the puzzle. Like, you are going to help me do exactly all I've wanted to do in life. And in terms of like everything else has really just been consistent. Like, we have really been people that have been committed to each other, being partners, sharing, and I've never that didn't change. It just, she played another position and achieved something else, which was being a mother.
Yeah.
So
that's dope. Go ahead, Jim.
I'm going to tell y'all that still is at the top of the list of one of the sweetest, most genuine, I guess, things that Al has ever shared. And I'm talking about on the day of delivering, because he said, and my mother, like, this dude earned so many brownie points on that day, when he expressed, like, I will never ask her to do this again if she doesn't want to do it, because like he said, in our dating, it was the whole, I want 6 kids, like, not happening. I was very clear from the beginning that that's not happening. But when I had him, and he was a hard, like, it took him, my son has been who he is from the time probably that he was conceived, but, I didn't really experience him at that moment. But definitely from the time that he was born, he has been very consistent in who he is. And Alvin was very slow and deliberate when he was coming. And he took his time, and it wasn't the easiest. By no I'm sure it wasn't nowhere near the worst either. But it just took me a long time. And Dawn, no, she was there. That was one of the experiences, the things that we've shared. We were in the delivery room when both of our first children were born. So it took him a long time. You know, it was my first baby. It was hard. You know, I was tired. I wanted not to do the epidural. I went in saying I'm not doing it. I think around hour 10, I was like, Jesus, y'all, please give me something. And then, you know, I remember him saying, like, I mean, and just out of sheer concern, right? Like, damn, this shit is really, really hard. And you're doing, you know what? I'm not going to ask you to do this again unless you just want to. Like, forget all that 6 baby shit I said. Like, boo, thank you for this. And if you're done, I'm good with that, because this is that major. This, I'm seeing you in the light that I've never seen you before. And so that was just really, really cool. Like I said, my mom was like, oh my God. That was so sweet. And thank you for loving my daughter so much, and blah, 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 blah. So that's still like at my top, I don't know, 20, 30 things. It's still in that top, on that top ring of the most sweetest things that he has said and or felt or shared with me. I don't know. So thank you for that, Al. And thank you for feeling my pain in the moment, because it was hurting a little bit.
If I knew 24 years ago that's the best I was going to get in terms of sweetness, I would have set the bar a little lower, though, now that I think about it.
Now see how you do. Lord. Anyway. All right, Chris, same question to you, although I know you didn't hear the question, but Al stated it in the very beginning of his answer. Did your wife, once Dawn became a mother, did it change how you saw her?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I think being a parent changes you, or it should change you. Your basic makeup. I mean, your priorities change. How you view the world changes. I mean, so many things. Our oldest should be 21 in July, and so you're talking about 20-year change, going through things, and from PTA to hospital visits to schools and colleges, and I mean, so much of that has gone on over the last 20-something years that I think it changes you as a person. It should change you, again, like you said, your priorities for how you deal with things, and just what you do for your child. So yeah, the other thing is to grow together, and we've grown together as parents and grown as people, and more responsible about things and outlook on things, and those type of things. So yeah, I think it definitely changes a lot about it, and so yeah, that's what I would say.
Did it change how you saw me, though?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, again, your level of commitment to the children and what we were trying to do, definitely refocused me on what I, needed to do as a father. And again, how I saw you. I mean, you're who you are as a person when I met you, and your characteristics and your values. But I mean, they're on steroids when you have kids that are, that are all over the place and trying to do different things. So yeah, we were a lot, pretty fun going, young people when we got together and got married with no responsibility. So yeah, definitely it changes you and how I look at it.
And you married 3 years when you got pregnant with Naima?
About 2 years, 2.5 years, and
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Dawn, anything you'd like to add? What'd you say?
Yeah, to go run out for a second.
Oh, got you. All right. Okay. So in that case, we'll swing over to the right and ask JR. How about you?
So I'm still sitting on your right, huh? Yeah.
You still on my
right. Yeah. So, of course, it was a bit different because, like I said, everything Ladine said earlier, I wasn't there to witness. But I even when she was pregnant with Lincoln, I started seeing her differently because she had a rough pregnancy with Lincoln. It was it's a big dude to be carrying around for almost 10 months. So during that time when she couldn't do a lot of the things that she was used to doing with Ladine, me and Ladine got a lot closer. So that's when we started to bond. But what I started noticing was like I couldn't just go like get a bowl of cereal because this dude was looking up at me like, yo, where mine at? And so little stuff like that, I was like, yo, she been doing this before, like I even been here. So it taught me a lot of the extras and the details of parenthood before Lincoln actually came along, because you can't just up and do things. So when she had Lincoln, I remember on that day, similar to Al. So she had a C-section, and when I was in the room, and I remember walking out after they were almost done, and looking back, and literally seeing my wife's insides on the table. And I was like, yo, like I almost passed out. Like,
I'm sure.
Right. And to see him and like still in amazement that he came from inside her. Like she was carrying him. Like it still just amazed me in the moment. And to see, to witness everything she went through, the pain, the fatigue, all that. And, being an athlete, it's something that we pride ourselves on, is being able to push through. And there's certain things when you see somebody do something that you're like, yo, I don't even know if I could deal with it. I don't know if I can endure that. And that's how I felt in that moment. That I was like, yo, I pushed myself to a lot of limits, but I don't know if I could do that. Then this little
Probably
dude.
not. That's why women are the ones that had the babies.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
So I know y'all can't do that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, but that's, and absolutely. Those are, in that moment, it, and then to see him, and just like, that's a whole person, and with an extra finger on his left hand. Like, who can carry this dude? So, it was that just like, instantly just to marvel at her, her strength and, her ability to bounce back, and just to show a full gamut of emotions and abilities within that short period of time was just amazing to me. And then didn't take long for, for her to, be leading the way and showing me how to parent. So yeah, it was pretty instant for me.
That's a very interesting perspective, because as you were talking, Jay, it makes me think of little Alvin. His woman has a baby. She's 3. The baby is 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be interesting talking to him about that perspective, like his perspective when they have their own, if they have one, right? It's like, so watching her mother or parent a child that's not yours, and whatever you feel about that, and then transitioning into, now I'm watching her parent a second baby, which is mine, and so yeah, that'll be real interesting if it turns out that way. How much did Lincoln weigh?
They were both 8 pounds 13 ounces, and I gained 75 pounds with Ladanian and 100 pounds with Lincoln. We thought I swore I was having a girl with Lincoln. It was just a completely different pregnancy. I realize now that was just a glimpse baby and that was it. But everyone thought I was having triplets. I mean, my mother told me when I had Lincoln, she said, you cannot have any more babies. Like, your pregnancies are horrible. I mean, I went into preterm labor 3 times. Like, they thought I was preeclamptic. Like, it was a nightmare. It was not a good experience. It just wasn't. It was, both pregnancies for me were very stressful. So the great thing for me, which I don't think JR even realizes, was that he was there and he was present. And so I had him there. And so even though I was a mother already, having the experience of having JR by my side and with me through my pregnancy was a completely different experience for me. So I'm just grateful because he hasn't left my side. You know?
Yeah. You know what? Everybody just loving on everybody tonight. Cooper, is this what y'all bring? Like,
and shout out to both of our mothers, like to my mother because she was there when Ladine was, when she had Lincoln, and then Lay's mom came right after. But and you mentioned like that AB was who he was instantly. Lincoln was the same. I was supposed to start a new job, and on the day Lincoln was born, we didn't know, of course, when he was coming, and he decides to come on the day I was supposed to start. So he's always just been, it's all about me. I come when I want to.
Yes.
Y'all.
No, but definitely. I didn't even hardly knew my mother-in-law at all. And just to have her there and to have the support from her, oh my God, from day one for me, I was so incredibly grateful because I don't know what I would have did without our moms there, because my recovery took a very long time. I did not recover right away at all. Lincoln was in the hospital for 7 days. After I left the hospital, he was in the NICU. I mean, it was a lot. The whole pregnancy, everything was a lot. But again, I'm just grateful that he was there with me. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Another question for the fellas. How much of your mother and the way that you were mothered, how much of that did you look for in your wife as she was mothering?
Ooh.
Or how much did you try to encourage her or influence her to do things the way your mama did it?
Oh man, well, anybody that know, I'm a glimp, so the first 98 yards is about food for me. So so she was already like on the 2-yard line, because I was like, yeah, she was already like pushing, the first 98 yards was like, yeah, because I was like, yo, like if all else fails, at least we gonna eat good. And everybody knows my mom knows she can throw down. So to me, nah, it's like that's a staple. Like if I'm, as a kid or as a teenager, what I knew was the one thing I could count on was, regardless of how my day at school went, how hard practice was, whether we lost by 40, I don't care. If I'm going home, I know I'm going to eat good. And it kind of wraps up your day. So, she already had the first 98 yards knocked out. But just, her ability.
That was pretty easy, lady.
Yeah. Hey, no, it ain't that easy. If you got to meet those standards, it's not that easy.
Right.
But but just her, her ability to, to not only like take the lead on mothering, but also make me feel like a priority as well. And then also, to do stuff that I don't even think about. And so it's those things, especially with with boys. When there are times when it's just me and the boys, we'll drink out the same cup for 6 days, and have cereal for dinner and Kool-Aid for breakfast. It's those things that we do that we don't think about, that we just can get away with when it's just us boys. But when she notices things and takes charge on things that don't even come to mind, if it were up to me. So it's those things that like my mother, she's like the CEO of the house, that I'd never think of if it were just me.
CEO of the house. All right. I like.
Go ahead.
What'd you say, Lay?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think that it's funny because Mama has said it. My sister-in-laws have said it. There are a lot of me and my mother-in-law are completely different people. But as far as like when it comes to taking care of a household, absolutely. When it comes to the cooking, to the cleaning, to the baking, like it's all there. And she's very appreciative of it. She's even said to me, like, "Thank you, Jesus," when she met me, that she was so grateful that I was a clean woman. I knew how to maintain a home. Like I knew what to do. That was a big expectation that she had herself, and that she was a little nervous about when it came to Jay. She's like, "Thank God he found you."
Right, because she was tired of doing that shit. She was like, "I need somebody that I can pass this torch to and feel good about it." Thank you, Gina. Ladine, you can cook. Take this motherfucker on to the house. You're in the 98th yard, baby. Take him. Go on. Hey, Cooper, what about you? Did you want to see, did you look for things that were like your mother, in Dawn as she mothered?
No,
did you?
I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Or did I what?
I was saying, or did you want that? Did you encourage it? Like, I was just adding to the question. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't think I really made that connection. I knew she would be a good mother. The qualities I saw in her, the family that she came from. So I never really did that. My mother's very unimposing person, and I'm not exactly a mama's boy. I'm very rebellious and kind of wanted to always kind of do my own thing. So, it never kind of forced what my mother did for Dawn to kind of do the same things, or. My mother had dinner by 5, every night, or, you need to do the same thing, or, so it was more in terms of the relationship that my parents had. I guess I kind of modeled that, for my home. But I didn't put any, prerequisites on her that you need to do these things because my mother did it or anything like that. So, no, I never did that. My mother, again, I think anyway that she was very respectful of Dawn when, ever she was been in a house or.
Yes, I love his mommy.
That's because she too was glad that you took that motherfucker, and she just had to make sure that she ain't gonna go over there and mess it up and you send them back.
No, honestly, was a sweetheart, and I had heard some horror stories about, mother-in-laws from time to time, and I was a little nervous, but I had nothing to be nervous about. That woman is fabulous. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that I would say the same thing about my mother-in-law if she was still here, right? I only had the opportunity of having a mother-in-law for 3 years before she passed away. And while we had a rough start, by the time, once that was over, she was just beautiful to me. And very, like Chris, like your mom, very unimposing, very, leaving the space for Al and I to be who we needed to be, right, without her interfering.
Yeah.
So I always appreciated that about her. So yeah, I too have heard all of the horror stories, but honestly, like I don't know, definitely nobody that comes to mind right away. Any couple, Al, that we know who has like nightmare mother-in-law stories. Nobody personally.
The ones I know, they're not together anymore, so that might have been part of the problem.
See, yep, there you have it. There you have it.
Right.
So yeah, I never once had that issue, and I'm grateful for that, even for the short period that she was in my life. Wow. Al, we're gonna let you bring it on home with this question.
So I think, similarly, as Chris was expressing, like, I mean, I don't think encouraged any type of, looking at how you were as a mother and then said, well, my mom did it this way, I want you to do it this way. I think while there are some similarities in y'all as mothers, I think that was a lot to do with that as I was getting to know you and kind of assessing who you were as a person and projecting how you would be as a wife and a mother. It was probably that I saw some potential, like, oh yeah, she's going to be able to provide the type of life that I'm looking for based on things that I admired and how my mother mothered and kind of how she kept a house and kind of led the house and played her position as a mother. So I think that there are some definite similarities, though, even though I don't take any credit in terms of encouraging you to do it that way. It was just that's who you are. That's the wife and mother you wanted to be, and I saw that in you then. So yeah, I can't say I did a lot of encouraging, and I think also just in terms of your relationship with my mother, that definitely mattered, and I'm glad that y'all had a good relationship. The way she felt about you was something that I appreciated, and that was like, okay, she likes you, I might as well marry her.
and I'm sure Gina's about to say she was glad that you kept that motherfucker.
Kept that motherfucker, please.
Right.
Somebody, please keep that motherfucker from Rosedale.
Take him home. Take him home.
And if Miss G didn't like you, she let you know. So
What'd you say, Chris?
I was saying if Miss G didn't like you, she would let you know. So.
As she did initially. As she did.
Gina was Alan just now.
Yeah.
That's to the last podcast. That story.
Right.
That's right. And she did let me know in uncertain terms. She never said it to me though. She just showed me very well.
She's like, I can show you better than I can tell you. Come back over here again.
I can tell you. Come over here. Let me show you.
Right.
Oh, she's here? Let me go in my room.
But first, let me walk by and don't say nothing on the way to my room. Let me walk by her and
don't speak. Make sure she knows I know. Now I'm going my room. So I asked this question, right, because, and I have taught my daughter this as well, because I truly believe that mute please. I truly believe that a man's relationship with his mother is indicative of how he will treat his wife.
That is another podcast, okay?
Hey, like I believe that with all of my heart.
I agree.
And so, it's nice to, I mean, and I knew this because I know both of all four of you, to hear you talk about your mom in the regard that you do, right? Just kind of confirms some things for me. And so as Mother's Day is coming up, it just seemed most apropos that we honor our moms in the ways that we did tonight, right? So while the show wasn't about honoring our mothers per se, um, that's what happened here, a couple times for everybody. And so that is pretty awesome, that we were able to honor them and that they have always known how much we love them. And so it's just cool, and we are grateful for all that they have poured into our lives. So y'all, whatever mothers are in your life, whether it's yours or not, honor them, honor them, and tell them Happy Mother's Day, and treat them special in whatever ways that you can as we approach Mother's Day. Which brings me to another question. I know Alice like, damn, I thought you was closing down. I know, but I gotta ask this question. Mother's Day. Fellas, do y'all celebrate it in big ways for your wives? Or is it just another day of the week or the month?
I mean, we celebrate it.
Crickets.
I mean, usually Mother's Day is usually the one day that I could accept my wife telling me what she wants, and I'll just be like, okay, I'll just get what she wants, like as far as the gift goes. And
why Mother's Day, Jay? Just curious, like why?
I don't know. Just kind of, I guess it just kind of fell in the habit. I don't know, in no particular reason. But generally, I'll cook, and I proposed to her on Mother's Day, so Mother's Day's always been special to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Mother's Day's always been special to me, and like I'm not a over the top kind of person, but I try to make it as much about her as we can.
Nice. So, Ladine, what you asking for this year?
I asked for a couple things. I already got something via email, so I'm excited about spending, fucking up my whole gift card. You already know. Instead of fucking up a check, I'm about to go fuck that gift card all the way up.
I have never heard anybody say that. I love you, Ladine. I love you. I never heard anybody say that about a gift card.
It's about to be a wrap. I'm gonna have fun doing that. But yeah, no, this year's just been a little different. It's been a little different. I plan to do a little bit more in the future. With Mother's Day, with my mom and my sisters, and just probably like just doing my own thing on Mother's Day. I never really look. I love them. I see them all the time. I see them every day. All right. I want to make Mother's Day about me moving forward. I'm not even gonna front. It's the one day that I am going to just do something different with. That's the plan.
Okay. So you already started receiving your Mother's Day gifts, huh? So like y'all do the 12 days of Christmas. Do you do like 7 days for Mother's Day or something?
I wish he did that, girl. Okay, I wish he did that. No, it's definitely. I know that he's not going to be here all weekend this weekend because this is a pretty special weekend, which I cannot handle emotionally. I will not be a part of going to the grave with everyone else because my father-in-law was very, very special to me, and I need to be able to. I actually recently just went to go. I went to New York to my best friend Jennifer. She passed away 3 years ago, pregnant, 5 months pregnant, in a horrible car accident, and so. I went to her grave in April, and it kind of destroyed me a little bit. And I can't do that again. Death has really altered me differently, and I want to be able to visit my father-in-law on his own, but I think it's very important for JR to be able to go this weekend, be able to hug and love on his beautiful sister and niece, and just really be with the rest of the family. So I'm not rushing for him to get back or anything like that. I want him to be able to take his time as he needs. So It's really not about me this year at all, and I'm very okay with that.
Okay. Jay, just keep sending her the gifts, right? Just
Yeah,
when you leaving Friday or Saturday.
just set me up. We good money.
I'll be back. I'm leaving Friday, and I'll be back early Sunday morning. So.
All right, from now to Friday, you got to lay it out, boo. Just go on, just go on.
Hey,
Give them gifts. I'm just saying.
My kids are self-sustainable, so I asked them if they wanted to go with me. They said no, so it's up to them while I'm gone. I already bought their gifts for her from them.
Mm-hmm.
So they gotta they gotta lay it out while I'm gone. I ain't gonna be here to manage.
Okay. All right.
They will, though, because as my babies is getting older, they be loving one they nominate.
I love it. Coopers, what about y'all? Is like Mother's Day a big thing at the house, or you just be like, fuck it? You know, it's just another day, or what's up?
Very big around here. Very big.
Yeah, I put in some work on Mother's Day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, gifts, all of that definitely is. I'm definitely in here working. I am looking to transition though, because the girls definitely kind of coast on that day. But I'm putting them to work from this day forward.
They've been working the last couple of years, though. They've been working They've been helping you.
Yes, I've had them help me, but they're definitely going to be taking on more of the work and the planning and everything. But yeah, it's a big day over here. Definitely try to take care of her. She's so great to us, and she does really go all out for us on our birthdays and Father's Day, which thankfully does come after Mother's Day. So yeah, we definitely try to put in the work and make her feel loved and special and celebrate her. And this year, my mother's coming over this year also, after not seeing her pretty much all last year because of COVID and everything. So this is definitely going to be special, and I plan on putting some more work in. So yeah,
he does a very good job. Excellent job.
I love to hear that.
Yes, always awesome. What about you, Al?
It's definitely not a. What was it? What was that? What were the options you said? Is it just another day, or
man, just answer the question,
or like Stop a big playing. Deal? So it's definitely not just another day. It is an opportunity to show you some attention, consideration, take care of you, whether it's cooking or gifts or going out, right? So I think there's always acknowledgement. I think the real, as I thought about these years, the real fact of it though on Mother's Day is that, as much as I talk about loving May, I don't love Mother's Day though. And so, 20 years of our 24 years of Mother's Day has been without my mother here. So that's not something that ever, do I forget that? And so some years are better than others energy-wise, and it just really depends. And I know looking, I'll take stock of my Mother's Day sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, it was one of those years, huh? Because I might not have paid as much attention or done enough for you, or might not have called any of my aunts and just sent texts. Just been one of them years I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling Mother's Day like that this year. And some years I'm doing all that I can for you, and I'm calling all my aunts, and they're all surprised and happy to hear from me, and it just kind of varies. So it depends in terms of how great it is.
I definitely feel you on that. It's definitely a tough month. Sometimes for me, it's like a dichotomy because I love this time of year so much. But my mother was a nurse, so it's like Nurses Week, Mother's Day, and she passed away a week after Mother's Day, the year that she passed. So the anniversary death comes up well, and so it's tough. And I have to go into May reminding myself that this is going to be, this is not an easy time for you. But the thing that saves me is that I get the love of celebrations from my mother. And any time that I get too far down, I just know she would not want me to be sad. She would not want me to stop celebrating. She would not want me to not enjoy Mother's Day and this time. And, she wouldn't be having it. I could just hear her saying, "Don't you do that." You better celebrate, girl, because that's what you would want. So that really helps me a lot, but it can get tough. It can get really tough in May. But I'm so thankful that it's also my favorite time of the year with everything else. It helps to balance all of that out.
I think two things. One, there have been years where that thought has gone through my mind in the sense of, your mother would want you to celebrate her daughter-in-law, your wife. So, that is something that has crossed my mind. And the other thing that I just thought about while you were talking is that I can't, there might be a correlation to the intensity of how I enjoy celebrating my birthday as a distraction for Mother's Day. As a balance to, because it really has been going around the same amount of time as I've been missing my mother.
Yeah, I OD on graduations. I think my 1 year I probably hit about 12 in 1 year. It's like, what are you doing? And in my mind, I'm loving it. But now that you say that, it probably was a bit of a distraction.
A little distraction.
And getting tore up at Mayhem, too.
Yes.
Coming soon.
Thank God for distractions. We need them all sometimes. I'm glad that the two of you and many other people out there have found ways, right, to mitigate some of the sadness and the sense of loss, as you guys continue to navigate through. So, again, happy Mother's Day and rest in peace to Shirley Gloria Glimp and Judy Bradley. Judy, was it Marie?
Yes, ma'am, Judy Marie.
Okay, all right, look at that. Yes, Judy Marie Bradley. So, all right, y'all. Another great. Go ahead, Ladine, real quick.
I got a really quick shout out our couple of the week.
Hey.
My lovely sister Javine and her husband Sam. They are and have been just an amazing support to me in my marriage. They really truly showed greatness in life and what marriage looks like. And my sister with being a teenage mother and young motherhood, and she taught me a lot. And so I just want to shout them out real quick, say thank you for all that you do, everything that y'all are, and all that good stuff. Shout out to Shav and Sam.
Shout out, Shav.
Big ups
Sam.
to Shav and Sam.
Yes.
Yes.
And Dawn, Gina, Lay, happy Mother's Day. We love y'all.
Oh, we
Happy
love you
Mother's
guys.
Day.
So thank you. Thank you. I'll be waiting for my gift card in my email, JR.
No doubt. You gonna fuck up a gift card too?
Because I was going to say, because I can fuck up a gift card too now. Yes. I'm just saying. All right. Thank you, Coopers, for debuting us being guests on our show. You were our first guest, and we have enjoyed you tremendously. Thank you for coming and sharing yourself with us.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Yes, appreciate it very much.
Yes. And so we are going to have guest couples moving forward once a month. And so we look forward to sharing with you some of the other great couples that we have in our lives. We also want to give a shout out to Thomas and Chiquita.
Yes.
you know, the other third of our usual team that's not here. So what's
Happy
up,
Mother's
y'all?
Day, Keita.
Happy Mother's Day, Keita.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, Keita.
Yes.
Happy Mother's
We hope that y'all have a great weekend. And Thomas, Keita gonna be waiting for her gift cards and an email too. And then she wants some other gifts on Mother's Day.
Yes, all of that.
All that. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. Hope the day is special for you and it looks however you want it to look.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, y'all. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel.
Good night. Peace.
Good night.
Good night.
Peace and thank God for mothers.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life Gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.